Alright lads, so it's finally time for us to have a look at the community's reaction to the new 1000-year Blood War MASAKI and also ISSHIN banner. This, of course, is our newest banner releasing in a couple days' time, the end-of-month banner for the month of May, and personally speaking, I really like this banner. I'm glad that we're kind of going back to Core 1 content because that was something that for some reason was kind of skipped over. And MASAKI ISSHIN in particular were two characters that I was looking forward to because who doesn't like everything with the rain? It's such a good arc. MASAKI and ISSHIN are such cool characters in this arc too, and I've been eagerly waiting to see how they would look in their new anime style and how good they would be given that we are now officially in the year 2024. My overall impressions on this banner is fairly positive. Both characters are great, their artwork, their specials are some of the best in the entire game. Literally, ISSHIN's Soulbomb is one of my favorites. It looks so good. And they are both setting up to be very powerful characters. I quite frankly have nothing to complain about these new characters besides the filler pool, but that's something that we complain about in every 1000-year Blood War banner, right? But in terms of the banner presentation, the characters themselves, I would say they're almost perfect. That's my opinion though. Let's have a look at what you have to say in regards to these two new characters. So first up, we have Wilka. They look good, but I'm a little miffed about the lack of a third character. That and where are our Sunritters at? I've been kind of meh on BBS lately, and I'm really hoping for some voice standings in the anime visual style very soon. One thing I will say, I'm probably going to see quite a few of these comments in this community reaction video, is that people don't like two character banners. And trust me, I am perfectly there with you lads. I am not a fan of two character banners. I would, in any case, always prefer three character banners. However, in certain situations, I don't mind it when it makes sense. If a banner deserves a third character, then it deserves it. I would want that banner to have three characters, right? But in this case, this banner was always ever going to be ISSHIN, MASAKI, and also White. But of course, since White was done for the 8th anniversary, I always expected it to be a two-character banner. You could say maybe they should have thrown Ryukin into the banner or maybe Katagiri, but no, I'm be honest, they don't deserve it. Listen, I might come off as a hater, but if someone like Ryukin has no haters, I'm gone. I'm dead. I'm wiped off the planet. Ryukin did not deserve his 1000-year Blood War version back in 2019. He only got one because they didn't want to do White, and right now when they're remaking characters like these two, they didn't have to, and I'm glad they didn't have to do Ryukin. I would have been happy about Katagiri given that she's not in the game, but again, they don't do anything, right? People complained about Yumachika getting a new character, but at least he did something. He showcased something. Ryukin and Katagiri in particular do nothing. I can see why they didn't remake him because they just didn't need to. The recent 1000-year Blood War banner with Sangdu and Toshiro, that one left a sour taste in my mouth because it could have been a free character banner, right? They could have put Rangiku or Bazby in this banner to overall sell it more, and that's why I had a problem with that banner being a two-character banner. In this case, though, I have no problems with it because, again, Ryukin I just could care less about. He doesn't deserve a new character. And that's quite frankly why he didn't get a remake, right? I agree, though. I've been quite vocal about it. The voice standing designs in the Quincy characters that we do have currently in-game, basically only Kyoke at this point, look so cool, and I want to see other Quincy's in their voice standings. We'll get it eventually, though. I mean, you know, the last 2000-year Blood War banners did give us two new Stamritters, that be Mania and also Sangdu. So it's not like we're not getting Stamritters. And they're clearly serving the hype ones for a hype period like the anniversary. So I'd be very surprised during the 9th anniversary, which is going to be our next 1000-year Blood War banner, right? 2 months away at this point. I'd be very surprised if we don't get at least two new Stamritters in their voice standing forms. Clyde says they did my boy Ryukin dirty. Good. He doesn't deserve a new character, I'm gonna be honest. Owen says, great choice. A personal highlight of the 1000-year Blood War arc, and it's great to see an SP MASAKI. Her being Guild Quest focused means that she's going to be more used in the long run, and I do like how they designed it in the idea that she is a Guild Quest character. You know, comparing her to Yumachika, for example, Yumachika in Guild Quest is a lot better, but outside of Guild Quest, despite him being a good character, in a way it's technically worse, right, because he's not getting frenzy free. I like that they didn't give MASAKI any Guild Quest specific skills, while she's clearly designed for Guild Quest given her barrage skill and also killer effects. But in general, she looks to be a very strong character even outside of Guild Quest, and I just like the idea of having a fun playable MASAKI that is an SP character, especially considering that the current MASAKI in-game is already a really good NAD character. So if you are a MASAKI fan, I mean the NAD character is still perfectly usable, so now you get the best of both worlds. You get to experience her as a NAD character and an SP character. They then going to say, under OP ISSHIN, sign me up. That's the cool part. It's kind of been something that I never thought about, that we've literally never had a good ISSHIN, an SP one at that. I mean, I shouldn't say that. We had the 1000-year Blood War ISSHIN from like 4 years ago, and he was a good character, right? But this one's OP to another level. So yeah, I'm very excited for ISSHIN to get a good character. The visuals are also great. Going back to Core 1 is awesome. It means we could potentially get a Bankai Ichigo. Imagine his Soulbomb. I can't wait for it. And that's something I'm also looking forward to now. You know, before, at the start of the year, we were questioning our Caleb going in order of Core 2, which in a way wouldn't be a bad thing, knowing what's coming up next could potentially mean you could save orbs for it, but it definitely does ruin the surprise to a certain extent, because you're never going to get surprised on a random banner like this, for example. Knowing that Caleb can go back to Core 1 and do Core 2 whenever they want to means they can surprise with a random Bankai Yamamoto, a random Bankai Ichigo, a monster Ion-absorbed form Kyogre, for example. Stuff like that would always be cool, and I'm looking forward to when that potentially could happen. Likewise though, as many people are going to share the same opinion, 2-character ban is iffy. While I get White was used and Ryukin didn't do much, Aizen was used as a mid-month. Well, I think Cloaked Aizen would have been cool, but maybe they are using this time to fine-tune the Ana units. That's one thing too. You know, again, 2-character banners, not a big fan of it. In this case, I like it because it makes sense. Having said that, I would have preferred maybe this was done on another month, because this is one of the few months where we only got 4 characters. Usually at most, at the lowest, we get 5. You know, one mid-month banner would be 2 characters, one end-of-month banner would be 3 characters, or vice versa. It's very rare to see a mid-month and an end-of-month have 2 characters. So maybe the timing of this banner wasn't perfect. If mid-month was 3 characters, then it would have been a lot better. But then again, going back to the 2-character banners making sense, right? You know, mid-month, for example, was 2 characters, Grimmjow versus Ichigo, and there's no other character you could have fit in there that would have made sense. The whole banner is about Ichigo versus Grimmjow, and any other third character would have felt out of place. You maybe could argue a Orihime, but again, she doesn't do anything at that moment. Garrett says they did a great job, but the 2-character banners are always painful to see, especially in cases like this where I have every single filler already 5-5. That's a problem in itself, the 1000-year Blood War filler pool. I already left a comment on the Discord too saying, like, can we go back to the 1000-year Blood War Ichibe banner where, like, they included new premium characters, which in of itself also got hate, weirdly enough. I don't know why. People didn't like that they included premium characters on a 1000-year Blood War banner, but at least it was good and relevant fillers. Would love to see them do more of that. Easy skip for Anniversary, need to save orbs. I mean, this is a banner that is kind of skippable to a certain extent, so I could see it. Courier says if only White was there as a 3rd character. I mean, truth be told, he would have been, right? He would have been the 3rd character, but they didn't for Anniversary. People are already complaining that Isshin and Masaki are getting remakes. Imagine White getting another remake, literally not even a year apart. That would have been a bit ridiculous. So White not being included here, yeah, it makes sense, right? It would have been a bit awkward if he was another character. These 2 comments back to back are kind of funny. Son Goku Black is saying skip Anniversary around the corner, plus swimsuits are coming. Swimsuits are indeed coming. That is the next end of month banner. And then this lad here, the opposite, says don't care about swimsuits, going all in for Masaki and Isshin. John Zhao says new Keller will throw us a curveball and give us a random character, and they're absolutely correct, just like their son. And the visuals are absolutely cold. Just nitpicking, but Isshin should have had Poise Break instead of just Poise. Maybe he can Bleach Shed Stars Immunity rather than Weaken Resistance, but it might make him a bit too OP. Yeah, that's a weird thing too. Again, I've been quite vocal about it. Why are characters not getting Poise Break? Is it not weird? Like, Poise Break is only really useful in Limit Breaker, so it's very surprising that not a single character designed for Limit Breaker has been given Poise Break. Now, in some cases, it's not that bad, right? Like, Isshin, if he had it, he'd be a bit better, right? But actually, he would have been a lot better given that he does have a Vortex. So I actually, yeah, would have preferred if Isshin got Poise Break instead of Poise, to be fair. But it is weird how they've not been using this, you know, really good Limit Breaker skill and not putting it on Limit Breaker characters despite us getting one of those every single end of month banner. The immunity that he did get, he got Weaken Resistance. That's obviously for Guild Quest, and it's also something they've been kind of leaning on. It feels like Caleb aren't trying to go overboard on certain characters, which is kind of ridiculous given that some of these characters have crazy damage output. But the one part they want to balance is the immunities. We kind of saw with Ichibe near the end of the year, where he only has 1 immunity, which is my biggest gripe with that character. Casual Sketch has to say that I love it. We're getting Core 1 visuals with crazy strong characters, but thankfully I don't need them, so I'll just do the bonus steps. Drakaina Frost says Isshin Soulbone had great composition, and I love the red background of Masaki's inner worlds, and all of the effects of one of the only 5 types of Zanpakutos in the series reflected it in his overall kit. All the skills that he has makes an absolute masterpiece for the mind attribute, and I don't think Isshin will be dethroning Yuha, but he is a likely lieutenant in the attribute. I would say the same thing too. I think Isshin's like second in line when it comes to the 3 best mind characters in the game. In ways, Isshin is better, but I think Yuha having 2 killers and the extra Soulbone and the recharge in between stages makes him an overall better character. But I mean, Yuha is the best character in the game in my opinion, so the fact that Isshin even comes close just goes to show how good he actually is. Admitting the ever increasingly weird schedule jumping from Season 2 to Season 1, great banner, one of the highlights of Core 1 and a personal favorite of mine. Gameplay wise, solid end of month characters. I'd like for 1000-year Blood War to be more OP, but at this point it seems the norm. And it is going to be the norm, right? More often than not, every end of month is going to be 1000-year Blood War. In an entire year, we're probably going to get like at least 10 1000-year Blood War banners, so that will result some characters not feeling as special. But in this case, I feel like the characters are good enough to be warranted 1,000 G character. Like, these 2 characters are actually very, very good. 2 character banners will become a lot more common now because it will make it harder for people to have point event bonus. It's very sad and sadistic. That's one thing I have actually thought about. Yeah, 2 character banners does make it a bit awkward when it comes to bonus characters. I'd like to think that Caleb aren't doing it intentionally. Like, I don't think Caleb are just going to make every banner 2 character banners to make it harder for us to have bonus characters, right? We'll have to wait and see how that does play out. But again, I think in this case, it's just the case that they chose to do these 2 fights, you know, including mid-month, right, in this case. And it only makes sense for the banners to be 2 characters. And that's going forward with a lot of banners, right? When we eventually, if we do, get a Soifun and BG9 banner, it can only really be a 2 character banner. I mean, I guess they could potentially throw in Omaida, but I could easily see them skipping it. If the banner makes sense to be 3 characters, then it makes sense to be 3 characters. Otherwise, I don't think it's that much of an issue. In this case, I don't think it's an issue. The characters look amazing and beautiful. I'm happy they finally got their remake. It kind of sucks that it's a 2 character banner though, but overall, I'm doing 5 to 10 steps at max. I think I'm doing the same too. Heartfinder Blades, it's okay, nothing crazy but not bad, definitely not what I was expecting. Would be nice to have some hype end of month banners before anniversary, but yeah, sure, I'll take it. Bogan says, I think they are great, Kayla did well. I just think that it being too close to the anniversary makes it really not worth summoning on. And it's really unfortunate because you either summon for them now or you wait for an awkward time when they rerun sometime in the future. That's entirely true, but again, I don't think Isshin and Masaki in particular are like super must-haves. They're very good characters. And yes, summoning on reruns are a tad bit awkward. I don't think any rerun has ever been reasonably placed, because it's always right before like another bigger banner. And even if the reruns are better than any upcoming banner that we do get, it's always awkward pulling for an old character that's kind of old news to a certain extent, as opposed to a newer character that's, you know, potentially more cool, even if they are in a way worse and don't offer the same value as these old characters that are rerunning. Joe the Crusader says, easy skip, planning for swimsuits and the rest of the anniversary. That's fair. I'm glad they're both good SP characters, must summon for me. I think that's one good thing about the banner too, is that despite it being a 2 character banner, I'm glad both of them are good SP characters, right? Because, again, if it was like the Toshiro Sangdu banner, that was annoying because it was only really Sangdu or bust. Like, Toshiro was he wasn't a bad character, but him just being a Nad Guild Quest character, that just ruined the value of the banner for me. Especially for the fact that he was a Guild Quest character in a Guild Quest that didn't really need him. In this case, we have 2 good SP characters that are both good in and outside of Guild Quest content. If one of them was a Nad character, this would be a very easy skip for me. Unless, of course, they were a Nad character like Aizen. If they were a Guild Quest Nad character, yeah, I don't want them. No one expected Masaki and Isshin, so hyped about it, and their kits is fun, looking forward to it. The banner is alright, fillers are ancient, but at least they have used links, boosters, and Yama is a nice addition. What I think is criminal is the 1.5% chance for an unfeatured. They need to get rid of that. If I pull for 1,000 year Blood War, I don't want to get 8-year-old premium characters. The thing is for me, right, and it depends how they handle it, but I don't mind the 1.5% unfeatured chance. I know that might be a hot take, and this is not the perfect example of it, keep that in mind. But when Caleb did add the unfeatured pull rate, it actually gave you a better chance of getting a banner character, at least from the guaranteed steps. We are seeing the new stepper format for anniversaries, big banners like Future Society and End of Year, is that they do have 50-step formats, but at the same time, they don't have the 1.5% unfeatured pull rate. Instead, though, what they do is put 3 more random fillers in there. So, you know, if they did remove, hypothetically, the unfeatured pull rate, in a way, it kind of makes it harder to get some of those older characters, but it's not like it makes the banner better because they just add 3 bad fillers. Like, if this unfeatured pull rate wasn't there, you'd have 1,000 Year Blood War Sajin, Toshiro, and Byakuya in the filler pull, which doesn't really make the banner any better. If anything, they're the same value as an unfeatured pull rate. So I definitely understand the dislike for it, but we've seen literally last month when they do remove it, it doesn't make the banner any better. In a way, it makes the banner worse because from the guaranteed steps, you now have a less chance of getting the character because now it's 1 in 12 instead of 1 in 9 to get the character you actually want. Of course, in a perfect world, realistically, that wouldn't happen. They remove the unfeatured pull rate and then they don't add 3 extra fillers. That would be a perfect scenario, but I don't see Caleb doing that. Feels like yesterday when the manga versions came out, I hope the animations are good. I definitely think they do. I personally prefer these 2 characters over the old ones, but I think the old ones animation-wise still definitely hold up. Zelima says, don't care about swimsuits going in for these 2. Right now, that's basically what it is. You either don't care about swimsuits and they're summoning on this, or you don't care about this banner and they're summoning for swimsuits. For me, my opinion on the upcoming swimsuit banner really depends on what characters there are. I usually skip swimsuit banners, but at least the last 2 years, Caleb have done a good job getting me summoning on it because I did like Isan and I did like Mila Rose. And this year, I have a fear that they're going to be doing a new swimsuit Yoruichi. Jose says that this is his favorite 1000 Year Blooded banner for the year. So far, not a fan of it being 2 characters, but I don't mind going to at least 5 steps and walk away with at least pulling Isshin. That's if you're lucky enough, but I agree, this is also my favorite 1000 Year Blooded banner of the year, maybe my favorite banner of the year, truth be told, but I definitely do prefer this banner over the last 2 1000 Year Blooded banners. Ultimately, it's because the characters themselves are cooler. I don't really care about Yumachika, I don't really care about Sangdu, I don't really care about Toshiro. Ivan says people are going to get PTSD from that Isshin with how much the speedrun gets featured on banners. If anything, that's the best part about this banner. Imagine this banner had Isshin, Masaki, and also Ryukin as fillers. 1, it would bet you would hear in the summoning quote, but 2, would it be super disappointing to keep hearing their names again and again, and people already hate having them as fillers since they get featured so often. This lad here says, awesome duo of characters, all well done and powerful, gonna keep in the meta for a very long time, great visuals, would have been great to them if we could get White to complete the banner. Are people forgetting that White got a character less than a year ago? I thought people were trolling about, White not being here. White did not deserve to get a new character, lads. It would have been cool if they put him in the banner as a filler, and that should have been possible, to be fair. But White does not deserve a new character. We literally just got him. People are already complaining about Isshin and Masaki getting characters. But White did not deserve a new character. If the anniversary was White and it was like an original form, then sure, I would have been down for another White, but what we got from the anniversary is what we could have got exactly now. You could argue that maybe Anniversary shouldn't have been White, and then it would have made this banner a lot more exciting, and that definitely would have been the case. Like, if this was Isshin, Masaki, White, and White was his first time playable, this would have been potentially down to 0. Obviously, though, that's not the case. We already got White, and that's why personally I'm not disappointed that it's a 2-character banner, because I was expecting it to be 2 characters. Xavier says, not what I was expecting, but I'm here for it. Love these characters. Just sad it's a 2-character banner. The kids of Isshin and Masaki are reminiscent from the 8th anniversary Ichigo. Kind of funny how to specify it's their son. I think we all got that, but yeah, I mean, it kind of is, right? Both of them are great characters. I want them, but I'm not summoning on my main account. Gonna do 5 steps on the individual, because Anniversary is that's something to keep in mind, right? Anniversary is coming up. I see everyone more so talking about swimsuit characters than the Anniversary banner. If anything, I know people get baited to summon for swimsuit characters, but they are seasonal characters. They'll come back more often. They'll be in free summons in the future. And next month, we're probably going to see a lot of people say they're skipping swimsuits because they're saving for Anniversary. So we'll see how it plays out. Cynic Fire says the same thing though. While it being a 2-character banner isn't great, the characters themselves look really good. Don't know if they're going to summon though, since the Anniversary is close. Really happy with this since it is a 1000 Year Blooded banner with good characters, but not an absolute must summon. Both characters are great and really nice that Isshin does Lacerate to go alongside Grimmjow. That's one thing to keep in mind, right? Grimmjow does more damage to life-rated enemies, so having Isshin as your main best character for the upcoming Melee Quincy Guild Quest is going to really fare well with Grimmjow. So nice to see some synergy with 2 characters that kind of release back-to-back. It feels like Caleb actually planned that. So it says, as a completely new player, and this is my 10th day of logging in, should I try to summon on this banner, or should I really be saving for orbs for Anniversary? They both look sick, and I'm happy to see Masaki Isshin banner. It makes sense together, and that they're in the banner. They are married after all. I mean, since you are a new player, and this potentially goes to anyone out there that is a new player, I would say maybe do a few summons on this banner. Maybe 5 at most, maybe 10. Because they do have Yamamoto in this banner too, and there are some good links. Some resurrectable characters if you are new, have never have pulled on a 1000 Year banner, like this lad here. It's only his 10th day of logging in. You should be saving for Anniversary, but in this case, if you're a new player, you also have orbs to spend on banners like this. Maybe it's worth doing 5 steps at most. The lad Nerd Era saying, been waiting for Masaki since 2022. This banner is for you, bro. This banner is for you. Otaku Sophia says, excited for Masaki, basing purely on the character choice rather than the skills, but won't be summoning since they have everybody in this banner. Young Akiro says, so excited for this new Masaki. She carried me through a lot, and the fact that she is a Guild Quest character is cool, but sad because I'll use her less, but it is Masaki, so I really can't complain too much. I mean, I think Masaki is good enough to be used outside of Guild Quest content if you really want to. Her gameplay will be a bit awkward to say the least, but I think she'll be perfectly fine. And given that she is a power character, I mean, it's not like we have many other great options, right? Like, it's like she is easily top 4 best power characters. It's a bit awkward at times, but I think she'll be fine. Momo says, with Swimsuit Anniversary being around the corner, because they're not new characters, I'm only going to do the discount steps and stop. Also, point of it is going to be annoying for me since they have none of the 3 times characters, and there's only 4 characters in the +3 this time. That's the same for me. I didn't have +3 characters this current point event. Still did actually a decent amount of farming, to be fair. And I don't plan to go super deep into this banner. Might not even get any of them. So I'm also going to not really have the +3 characters for this upcoming point event unless I actually get lucky. Balance says, amazing units. A new range Espada lead kit is made, but damage makes up for it. A melee Quincy lead who is strong AF. That's one thing also I didn't realize in my initial reaction. I saw that Masaki was an Espada killer, and for some reason instantly assumed she was a melee character. That's also because at the time of this banner releasing, we will have the Melee Espada Guild Quest. So it is kind of weird that she isn't designed for the Melee one, but it makes sense her being a ranged character. Her kit definitely isn't the greatest, but I think we're past the point now. I mean, Rangiku's a good example of that. Sure, it doesn't make it as good as she could have been had she been given a better strong attack kit, but given how crazy damage these new characters have, a bad strong attack here or there doesn't really ruin the character. I think they're perfectly fine. I'm not going to lie and say she would have been better if she had a better strong attack kit. That's definitely the case. But the kit that they do have, I think she's fine. That goes for Masaki and also Rangiku. OG Milkman says, wouldn't have even been mad if they put White to make it a free character. Am I going insane? Why does White already got in the character, bro? Is everyone forgetting that White exists? Generally don't get it. User GR8 says, well-made characters. Would have loved to see Ryuken. No. No. Stop. These characters, in my opinion, are a prelude to the strength of the 9th anniversary characters, but Anniversary will have more general PvE killers. That's definitely the case. Anniversary this year is going to be absolutely crazy. Like, we're getting characters with 120% SP and Rampage. That's, Anniversary might have Frenzy free. 120% SP boost and also Rampage. The damage output can be crazy, but I'm also looking forward to potentially some new mechanics too. Every year they do bring something, so I'm looking forward to it. Gamer Soul says, didn't expect to see remade versions of them just yet. To be fair, they are quite overdue. We are getting Core 2 characters, and these are from Core 1. These characters should have been done time ago. They should have been done first and foremost before we even got into Core 2 characters. Not a fan of a 2-character banner though. That's fair. Should have remade Ryuken. No. No, stop. We don't need another Ryuken. I know I'm being a hater now, but no, I'm not going to listen to anyone saying there should have been a new Ryuken. As Mr. Skills are good, but usually a 2-character banner end of month is normally not good for pulling. And that's kind of true, especially right now with the anniversary coming up. At most 5 to 10 steps. I would say 5. Maybe 7 because you do the extra discounts. Been waiting for this for a long time. Definitely going to summon. This lad says, is the anniversary onto this one or mid-July? The anniversary for those that aren't aware is July 23rd. So as of right now, excluding this upcoming banner, we have 2 banners to go. Mid-month July, mid-month of June, and then end of month of June. And then after that, nothing new until the anniversary. Moon Silent Snow says, I have 3 power moon sources that I never spend. I will be summoning until I get 2 Masakis. Well, good luck, lads. Good luck. Sanjay says, it's good that they're getting new characters and they're OP, but I'm low on orbs. I love Masaki and I want to go in for her, and I don't want that much Isshin because I already have Yuha. Well, in that case, Sanjay, I would say wait for the individual banner. This banner does have individuals, and I believe Masaki's banner. Let me just quickly double check. Unfortunately, actually, so Masaki's banner actually comes out on the 21st, so if you only want Masaki, well, then I would recommend summoning on an individual banner. The individual banner in particular isn't like the greatest, but I mean, Arirama and Geo still have really good usability in Guild Quest, so getting them or duplicates of them wouldn't be the worst thing. Unfortunately, though, the second time banner leaves is the second the end of month banner gets announced, so the only way you can know what end of month is while still summoning for Masaki is if you wait for the last 10 minutes before this banner leaves. While it's a bit disappointing that it's only a 2-character banner, at least both characters are busted. Unlike Tosha and Sangdu, where it was basically Sangdu or nothing, I perfectly agree. I literally said the same thing earlier today. Damn, another Masaki. Been doing good in skipping banners, saving up 5k at this point. Guess I'm gonna have to do 2k. Hoping the upcoming swimsuit banner isn't a Burn the Witch banner. If it is, I'm in trouble for the anniversary. I know that's what we're really hoping for. A Burn the Witch swimsuit banner. We'll have to see how it plays out, but I think if we don't get a Yoruichi for this upcoming mid-month, I would like to say that the upcoming swimsuit banner is also going to feature a Yoruichi, because she isn't going to get a 1000 builder character this year. She always could get a premium character, but I don't know. I think a swimsuit Yoruichi has the highest chance to happen this year. John Glow says, I wonder if they're holding off Ryuken at this point till he has a Volstanish form. No, they're not. I mean, if Ryuken does something that warrants a new character, then sure. At this point in time, I don't think Caleb would know if Ryuken was to get an anime original form, so I don't think that's the reason they didn't include him. They didn't include him because he doesn't deserve a new character. Aaroniero Zora says, bro, I was saying I won't summon no matter what, but then I see Masaki ISSHIN. It is rough if you are fans of these characters. For some people, this is an easy, just skip banner, a good banner, but a skip for the anniversary. For others, though, this could be a rough one. Not gonna lie, I like Ryuken. Wait, no. No Ryuken in sight, W. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There are certainly great characters, though it does feel a bit strange after seeing Misaki with an Espada Killer without her having any Guild Quest characters. Or maybe Guild Quest skills is what they meant. I think that's the best part about her. I do like it when characters are just designed for content in mind, but not restricted to that content. And that's the way I kind of see Masaki, so I don't mind on having, you know, Gyokuro-specific skills. And they also think it's weird that Ryukin is not here. Maybe Ryukin would come with... No. Stop! Ryukin is not... They're not adding a Ryukin. It's not happening. As of now, thus far, if you do something in 1000G Blood War in the anime, you're gonna get a new character. Ryukin has done nothing. Therefore, as we can see in this banner, he didn't get included because he didn't do anything. I was laughing when I saw that there was no Ryukin in this banner. They could have added him, but as a... No, stop! Stop! I would cry! I would absolutely cry if Ryukin of all characters was the power farmer. Realistically though, if Ryukin was in the banner, he'd probably be a Nat character. The next farmer that we are going to get is going to be a Mind Super Link. So farmer power's not next in line, for the records. So before we get the power Super Link of farmer, we have to get a Mind Super Link of farmer, just to throw that out there. AJ says, I'm excited for a full release Stammeter for part 2 anniversary. Hopefully it's an OP power character. I would hope so. The case, I think anniversary is going to at least give us one really good power character. More often than not, we've been able to predict the anniversary attributes because Caleb give us what we need. And right now, we need a really good power character. And you know, for those that really want like a good standing Stammeter, I know it feels like Caleb are doing everything but that, but there's only so many characters and banners they can do before we get to those, right? And at this point in time, what else is there to do besides a Stammeter in their stunning form? They could do based on Giselle using her zombie powers. I think I'd still be excited for that nonetheless. But with the anniversary coming up, you know they're going to do some of the more exciting things from 1000G Blood War, and that should at least include 1 or 2 Stammeters in their Volstanics. Flame says, 2 character banner, characters are pretty good, and Yama as a filler makes it even better. Fillers are good compared to the previous Isshin Masaki Ryukin fillers stuff. Great links to overall nice banner, even though anniversary is right around the corner, might do 5 steps regardless. Laser says, shocked, no Nat unit. I thought it was possible for character is a banner without a Nat character. To be fair though, it's better that way since it's only 2 characters. But remember, if you kind of forgot, post 8th anniversary, we didn't get a single Nat character for like 5+ months. Or I think it was 2 Nat characters, 1 Yami and one Yamamoto. But the second half of 2023 give us like maybe 4 Nat characters in 6 months. So on Panda says, I like them very much. If I get them both, they're going to be in Team 1 with True Shikai Ichigo. Good soul treats as well. And Yama or Hash will also do, since they are missing them, they are new to the game, only 1 month. In this case, again, someone on a banner like this wouldn't be the worst thing to do, but don't go overboard. Just do a few steps, 5 or 10. B says they cooked finally some good foods. I agree. Again, I think this is right now my favorite banner of the entire year. Many from the character choice and how they actually do look visually. For me personally, at this point in time, I don't really care what the characters offer. As long as they're good and they look fun and it's a good character, like the character choice is good, I'm happy. And right now, I'm happy. JST says, I see why people will be mad at 2 character banners, but we already got white from that fight. I don't think anyone wants another Ryukin. That's how I see it too. Apparently some people do want Ryukin. But again, this is one of the few banners that I don't mind being 2 characters, right? Maybe they could have squeezed in a Bankai Ichigo. That would have been kind of cool to have like a family banner. It would have felt a bit out of place, but maybe I would have preferred it at that point more so than another Ryukin. But I think they're definitely holding out Bankai Ichigo for a really cool banner again, maybe with Monster Kyoge, especially because this year, we've already gotten 2 Tree Shikai Ichigos. We're not going to get another 1000G Blood War Ichigo for like at least to the 10th anniversary. For those that aren't aware, we're kind of going on a tangent right now, but since it's taken so long for Core 3 to come out, and remember, it takes us like 6 months to get new characters from a new Core of 1000G Blood War. We're not going to see Core 3 characters till the earliest this time next year. So we're not going to see a new 1000G Blood War Ichigo for like till the 10th anniversary, essentially is what we're trying to say. So I think that's why they're holding out on giving us a Bankai Ichigo. They're going to do him eventually. I'm not sure when, but I think they're definitely saving it for a good time because it's going to be quite a while before we do get another 1000G Blood War Ichigo, especially from Core 3, which at this point hasn't even aired yet. We have no idea when it's airing besides this year. Elias says, I find it funny that the optimal Limit Breaker team this month is Isshin, White, and Rangiku, all characters which had some sort of role in everything but the rain. That's kind of funny, actually. I think I would have preferred if they made the 3rd slot a Technique character, so you could use Masaki. That would have been even more cool, but yeah, that kind of is cool. I still don't know if I'm selling or not because round 2 anniversary is always broken, and good characters for all content. I mean, it really depends on your orb count and how many orbs you can stack up. I know if I do 10 steps now on this banner, I will still have like 10 kills for anniversary, part 1 and part 2. So that's what I'm summoning. Personally though, if I only had like 2k orbs, I would probably skip this banner outright. My only gripe with this banner is that it's a 2-character banner instead of the usual 3. Would have preferred unexpected, but they look good, so I'm fine with it. I would have pulled if the fillers are better, and that ultimately, again, as I've already stated, is the biggest problem with any 1000G Blood banner. Really hoping Caleb do something about that, and we've seen they can. The Ichibe banner is a prime example of that, so only time will tell. Hopefully they do something about it soon. I like them, but to be honest, the only non-Stamrator character I'd be super hyped for is Bankai Rukia. With that, though, let's kind of scroll down and see what some of the potentially unpopular opinions are for those that don't know. If your comments get downvoted, you're probably going to appear at the bottom right. Most people are saying this, the same thing. We have a few Isshin fans. All in, 5-5 Isshin. Good luck, lads. Most people are saying maybe worth a few summons. They're going to say for anniversary, though. This lad says there are many 1000 characters that could have used this more. Isshin and Masaki both already have solid usable characters. I disagree with that. I mean, Masaki's only good in Gyoku, whereas Isshin's basically unusable. I do agree, though, that to a certain extent, yeah, maybe other characters deserve their first addition into the game more, other than a remake of Masaki Isshin, but, at least in my opinion, Masaki Isshin should have been done before this. They should have been done when we were getting Core 1 banners instead of just jumping all the way to Core 2. The 2 end-of-year banners, or leading up to the end of the year with the Squad 0 banner, that shouldn't have happened. Remember, for those that aren't aware, they're fake anime characters. They were made before the episodes were even done. Even the end-of-year banner is the same, right? That's why Ichigo's Gettouga Jujutsu isn't referencing the anime, it's more so the manga, because the character was designed and made, or being made, before the episodes were animated. And while those 2 banners have really cool characters, I dislike it for the fact that this was a good time to give us Core 1 characters like Masaki Isshin. And now we're kind of in a situation where, Ichigo in particular is a Core 2 character, but he has that inconsistency of not having the red background. His Gettouga Jujutsu is nothing like it is in the anime. So again, I think Masaki Isshin does deserve remakes. They should have just been remade months ago. So let's scroll down to the bottom and see what the potentially unpopular opinions are. Maybe if they are getting disliked. There's potential chance they aren't getting disliked. You can't really tell. But we just have a few people saying skip. We have a few people saying boring banner. If you don't like Masaki Isshin, that's kind of fair. Claire Hayes says they look broken, but the small possibility of us getting a swimsuit Nini and Noel next month got me skipping. And that's perfectly something to keep in mind, right? Like, it's not guaranteed to happen, but there's a chance it could happen. And that might be enough for you to save orbs. Because, like, Masaki Isshin, if you skip them now, you can potentially get them later on. But if you're low on orbs and you have to skip a banner with, Swimsuit Nini and Noel, it's going to be hard to get them again. Because they very rarely ever return. Given their limited status, banner which is rare. They get, like, 2 reruns a year. Salem, though, says 1000G Blood banners stopped being exciting a long time ago. Especially now that they're treated like casual banners. Well, even releasing trailers anymore. This surprisingly has an impact. For example, the Future Society banner made me go all in, even though I don't really care about the characters. I just found the designs cool, and the trailer made me appreciate the banner even more. Caleb should treat these limited banners differently. Additionally, I find the recent character choices neither exciting nor consistent, but rather random. I'm not gonna, entirely disagree with that. I think trailers definitely add a lot more to the banner. But, they are supposed to be treated like casual banners. Yes, they're 1000G Blood War, but we're now in a situation where, 1000G Blood War is kind of the norm, right? In any given year, we're going to get, 10 plus 1000G Blood banners. And within those 1000G Blood banners, certain selection of 1000G Blood characters will get the special treatment. They will get the trailers, like we saw on the anniversary, on the end of year, likely the upcoming 9th anniversary, part 1 and part 2. Caleb released certain hype characters and hype banners at certain times, like end of year, Golden Week, anniversary. And those are the banners that are going to get trailers. The Future Society banner was actually a really cool banner, and having a trailer made it more exciting. I still would have preferred if 1000 Year Blood would have got that treatment. I still think we should have had a 1000 Year Blood banner last month instead of Future Society. I mean, me personally, if I don't care about the banner, trailer doesn't really do anything for me. It makes me appreciate it for 2 minutes, but after that, I could care less about the characters if I don't like the characters, naturally. The character choices definitely could be a bit more exciting. It definitely, again, Caleb are holding out the big boys. Let's be honest, Caleb are holding out the big boys. I still think, and I said this 2 months ago, last month, they should definitely space out the banners and have one exciting, really exciting 1000 Year Blood banner, and have a maybe less exciting one. As of late, this is our first, at least to me, this is my first exciting 1000 Year Blood banner. Last one was, it was a filler banner, let's be honest. It was literally called reinforcements. They're filler pieces to a bigger fight. The one prior to that too was a big fight, but I don't care about Sanctuary Toshiro, right? I definitely think Caleb should have at least thrown in one big fight, like Sajin, Shinji, and also Bambietta, just to at least give that exciting 1000 Year Blood fight instead of having them all back to back. But yeah, I do think the character choice have been a bit random. I mean, Toshiro and Sanctuary starting off Core 2 made sense. The next banner after that, I don't think needed to be a banner, truth be told. This one, I don't have any problems with. Again, this one should have been done before, and I'm glad it's been done now, right? Maestro says fillers what make me skip this banner. All are mid and Yama is 6'5". In that case, yeah, it's a pretty easy skip for you, right? The choice of characters you have been trashed here. Way too many 2-character banners. To be fair, again, I don't mind 2-character mid-month banners. I actually rather prefer mid-month be 2 characters, truth be told, because then that way if you're summoning on a banner, you have a better chance of getting the character you want when there's 2 characters. Most recent example, I guess, being Aaroniero and also Rukia. I would have been less inclined to pull on that banner if it was 3 characters because then I have a less chance to get the character I want, that being Aaroniero. Many on step 10 since it's 50-50. End of month banners being 2 characters, yeah, I'm not like the biggest fan of it. And maybe the idea of an end of month 2-character banner wouldn't be as bad if we had the crown step up summon for end of month banners. That definitely would have been a lot better, and that's how they should do it, to be fair. But a lot of the 2-character banners that we have been getting have only made sense to be 2 characters. Besides, really, Tosha and Sign do. You could say this banner deserved to be a mid-month, but I disagree. I don't think any 1000-year blood banner should be mid-month, especially someone like MASAKI ISSHIN. Gambler of Fate says, I'm disappointed that there are 15 total stun riches that still don't have their first character in-game, but Caleb will give us multiple versions of characters that already exist. They've been doing a lot of remakes, they're lazy and low effort, and Caleb that gives actual new debuting characters with awesome designs and soul bombs. It doesn't even have to be their Vol standing forms right off the bat. Use their base form. We're going to take it because it's actually something new for once. I disagree with this. I wouldn't say remakes are low effort and lazy. Far from it, actually. I mean, again, look at this banner right here. They look great. I don't think this is a low effort banner. And you gotta remember too, right? Like, I don't even consider MASAKI ISSHIN a remake because they're not. They're anime characters. You need to separate the old 1000-year blood characters with the new ones. The old ones are manga characters. To me, they're different. And yes, I would love, I'm eagerly waiting, I'm saving my all for them, right? For the new Stamrators coming into the game. I'm a massive fan of Giselle, Esnod. Those are the characters I'm going to go down to 0 for. I can't wait for them to come to the game, right? But they're eventually going to get done. It's not like they're not going to get done. And it'd be different too if it was remakes of characters that happen after these particular characters we want, like Stamrators. MASAKI ISSHIN, again, should have been done. They should have been done before we get a Volstanic Esnod, a new Giselle, because they happen way before they even get shown in the anime. Going back to the Ichibe banner, right? I like the filler pool, but the character choice itself, I think, was bad. I think this is a bad banner. I don't think this banner should have been done. Because these characters were remakes of late Core 2 characters. Instead of doing that, they should have done Core 1 characters. New Core 1 characters. And if they were going to give us 1000-year blood characters, made before the episodes were even done, maybe they should have done at least one new character instead of just remakes of Squad 0. But I mean, that's why they did Squad 0 characters. Because if we did get a potential, let's say, Gerard and Lige and maybe Pineda, sorry. If they went lore accurate or accurate to the anime's design, I would have been a tad bit disappointed. So maybe that's why they did Squad 0, but I don't mind characters getting remade. Yeah, characters have to get remade, and those that are hating on it, keep that energy when Bankai Ruki gets remade, when Bankai Renji gets remade, when we get a new Kenpachi. Because that's a remake. It's Shika Kenpachi. We have 2 in-game already. Why do we want another one? Because it's a new anime character. That's why they're doing these remakes. Which again, I don't even like calling remakes. And to be fair, it's not even that bad. Like, our last 2 banners, last 3 1000, but this is our first remakes of the year, right? The last 2 banners, granted the character choice was poor, featured 5 new characters, first time ever 1000-year Blood War forms. Toshiro was technically another Toshiro 1000-year Blood War, but again, it's not adult Toshiro, right? Sangdu was his first time playable, Mania first time playable, Rangiku and Yumachika first time in their designed 1000-year Blood War forms. So it's not like all Caleb are doing a remakes. This is our first remakes of the year, and they're deserved remakes, right? Malek says, as in everything but the rain and joy, I'm tempted to go all in, especially MASAKI. Happy that she got an SP character, and she's power too. Speaking of power, Nuno says it's wholesome that their power and mind are just like 8th anniversary Ichigo and also White. That's something I never actually even really connected the dots, to be fair. That'd be kind of cool if that was the intention. A lazy introvert says this is clearly a bait banner. Characters are broken, fillers are great. That's a bit of a, maybe a bit of stretch, but I'll skip it and be best prepared for swimsuit and anniversary. To be fair, I wouldn't even say this is a bait. Like, it's how do I say it? It feels like it's just a banner. Really, it's just there. It's a banner for those that want it, right? I think that's the best time to do a banner like this. Because obviously everyone's saying for anniversary. So you kind of want a hype cool banner, but also maybe skip it. Because hypothetically, if we did get Bankai, Shinji, Sajin, and also Bambietta, that's one of the hype core 2 banners that I'm really looking forward to, right? In my case, that's a down to 0 banner. That's a bait banner. A good bait, but a bait nonetheless, right? To me, this is kind of like a banner maybe I'd do a few steps on. Azevedo says, I don't really care for these remakes, going all in for swimsuit waifus, but honestly, I was kind of disappointed to see no new characters really. Was expecting one Stammer at least, but oh well, maybe next time for sure. As not for anniversary, right? Hopefully. with that said though, lads, I think we rambled on long enough. At least for me, recording this video, we're currently an hour and 10 minutes in, so I'm definitely going to try and edit that down to around 40 or so minutes. But I think most people understand it's a cool banner. It's a good banner. Characters look great. To some, it's their favorite banner of the year. Definitely the case for me, right? But given that it's so close to the anniversary, and even swimsuits, as a lot of people seem to be saving for, maybe not the best time to summon or go down to 0 banner like this. At most, maybe do a few steps. Seems like the biggest problem a lot of people have with this banner is the 2 characters. No one likes a 2 character end of month, but in this case, it could really only ever be 2 characters, right? If White wasn't the anniversary character, then he would have been included him, and it would have overall sold the banner a lot more. But ultimately, because White was done for the anniversary, this banner was never going to be anything other than 2 characters. Because in my opinion, Ryokan doesn't deserve a remake. He doesn't deserve a character in the first place, even back in 2019. And Katakuri would have been cool to get a new character, but again, she does nothing. If Katakuri could get a character, at that point, we might as well be getting the original Gote 13, because they at least showcase something more than Katakuri, right? At the same time, you know, it's a bit of a weird placement, right? We're jumping back and forward to Core 1 and 2, which in a way can be a good thing because it does add excitement to new banners. You never know what we're about to get. But I can definitely see some comments where people are getting a bit fed up now, where we aren't getting the stun rates that I know a lot of us have been waiting for. But I think they are coming in due time. Again, I think the next 1,000 Blood banner we are going to get, which is guaranteed to happen for the 9th anniversary, will at least feature some of those exciting Core 2 characters that we've been waiting for. Esno, Rukia. We're really not sure how the anniversary is going to play out, but it will feature 1,000 Year Blood War, and you know Killer are going to do the best of the best characters to do for the anniversary. Big fan of these 2 characters. I think whether you summon on this banner ultimately comes down to if you just like them. That's how it was always going to be too, right? Like, no matter when they release these characters, even if we were getting all the characters that we wanted beforehand, this banner in particular was always going to be pull if you like them. And that's kind of how a lot of banners are, to be fair. But either way, that was the community reaction for this upcoming end of month banner. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Take care and peace.